Hey, who you know hella cold with a heart of gold? Slick was slipping in some gems when the shade thrown. Hit you with knowledge and polish, pushing the positive. Steady petty plotting with the thought you get something out of it. That petty like a second language, speaking it fluently. Effortless with finesse to a T smoothly. Guiding you from breakdowns to breakthroughs per usually. Poetically petty, that's so juicy.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Poetically Petty podcast. I'm your host, That's So Juicy. And y'all, we have another guest here, okay? And I'm excited. I've had a lot of guests, okay? I just have more fun with guests, but I'm excited about this one because we've been rocking for like 5 years. I'm gonna tell y'all how we met and all that, but let me just introduce this next guest, y'all. She is a Reiki master. She's a tarot reader. She's an entrepreneur, okay? Fun fact, she was also a dancer, y'all, a classically trained dancer, ballet. She's been in the back of some of y'all favorite videos that I didn't even know about. I had to go back and check these videos, and I'm like, oh, man, where did this come from? Okay, and most importantly, she is a fiance. Okay, that's what's on her resume. But let me tell you the resume that I created for her. Okay, she is my spiritual guidance. Okay, she is my therapist. She is a friend, and she's super dope, y'all. Give it up for Cyn Roy, but you guys might know her as Just Cyn Roy. What's up, Cyn?
Hi, hello.
What's up, man? I've been so excited. Like I said, I have been waiting for this because y'all, I know we're doing a little podcast, but we be on her live. She's been doing lives for a while, and we be having fun. Okay,
Yes.
fun. I don't even be on camera, just with having fun. It's always good vibes, good energy. And sometimes when it's not the best energy, it still is. Like she's just gonna laugh. And y'all know me, I'm just laughing. I'm not we just gonna laugh at y'all and keep it moving. But we met honestly in a business group on Instagram, I believe it was Instagram. And I remember going back to your page like a year or two later, and I was like, well, oh, hold on, where's this one girl? Because I remember you had like the rolling trays or something. And I was like, "I'm gonna get that as a gift for my cousin." I went to her page and it was like all this tarot stuff, and I was like, "Now wait a minute now." Meanwhile, I'm going through crazy changes in my life that I don't understand. A whole lot of spiritual I'm just like, "Okay, forget her Christmas gift. I'm about to just read it because this ain't said none of this. What is this?" But ever since then, she did my reading. I remember it was going into the new year. She's like, "You better get it now because in January she always takes a sabbatical," which is I think is dope. And I was like, "Okay, let me know before you disappear on me." And I promise y'all everything she said, like for that whole year, like everything she told me ended up happening or not happening because I wanted it to happen. And she was like, "This ain't it, sis." And I'm like, "This girl don't know me." And whole time she knew she was reading me for filth, okay? Very nice about it, but reading me for filth, and then in the end, she was like, "But you knew that already. You just needed someone else to tell you." And I was like, and we've been rocking ever since, okay?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, but I remember you had the rolling trays. I didn't know anything about the rest of your business, and since then, her business took off, okay? It's I don't know if you was working when you started your business, but I know that your business start paying for everything and that's what you do. That's your bread and butter.
Yes. So I initially told myself that when I was working, I had a typical 9 to 5 job, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start this business. I'm gonna like go all in. If I make my salary in like a month, I'm gonna quit. And I ended up quitting and ended up doing my business full time. Like it was just like I bet it on myself. Definitely
Right.
did. And we've been doing it'll be 6 years this year in August. So I've been rocking since. Yeah.
Congratulations. Listen, yeah, it's so dope when you have friends that you are there from the beginning and you just watch like them grow and everything and just every step of the way. I just be sitting here like, yeah, girl. And I just be watching and I just be in amazement. But like I said, this is my therapist, okay? My spiritual advisor, like it's everything, anything guru, I'm like sin. Because when I started to get like more spiritual and into this and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, we about to just figure this out.
Mhm.
That's when
Yes.
again, y'all, she had rolling paper, like trays, like for smokers when
I
I
know I
first,
still put her on the site.
do you?
I still have it on my site. It's like one of my number one top selling item on my site. Yeah.
Well, I remember seeing that because it was like one of those groups was like, "What are you guys doing? Post your sales." And I remember you like posting that, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute." But I'm not a smoker, so I was like, I don't have no use of it. And we were just like supporting one another, and I was like, I'm not a smoker. But then once I had, moved here and stuff, and the holidays were coming up, my cousin smoked, so I was like, oh, let me get this as a Christmas gift. And then when I went to look for it, I saw it. I saw candles and sage and all of the things that I was starting to get into and learn more about. And I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is where I need to be. Like I said, it was a crazy time in my life, and I definitely needed that guidance and everything like that. So it was just perfect. And since then, I've just been watching your like transformation with everything. I remember you setting up your office and unpacking and moving into your house. And I just been a fan, y'all. I just been a fan. I love it. I love to see it. And I just been watching, but it's been such a dope thing. And then next thing I know, I see her and I forgot her name, but a celebrity was doing a Reiki for her and predicted her birth. What was her name?
Ahead. So, Fallon Pina, she's actually currently pregnant again with Jalen's child. Like they got
Mhm.
married and everything, and I told them like that was gonna happen. That was a couple of years ago, and I popped in one of her lives one day, and I told her I'm like I'm so happy for you, I'm so excited for you, and she just like, she told me she's like I remember you. I remember everything you told me, everything you said. She said it in the live, and people were like, "Who is she? Who is she?" And then people started following me, but yeah, like I predicted what was gonna happen in the relationship. I told her she was gonna have a girl because she has all boys and she wanted a
Mhm.
girl really badly. And I remember doing her reading and I kept telling her she's coming. And I kept saying she instead of he in the reading. And she's like, why do you keep saying she? Am I gonna have a girl? And I was like, you know what? Like, and it's not that I was purposely saying she, it was just by
Mhm.
accident. I just kept saying it by
Right.
accident, like, she's gonna be this, she's gonna be that. Kept saying it by accident. And they were both looking at me like, wait, is she gonna be a girl? Like, why do you keep saying she? And I'm just like, you know what? It's like I felt it. I was just like, you're gonna have a girl next. And she ended up having the girl next. Now she's pregnant again.
I've been I started paying attention after that. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I think
Yeah.
somebody else, I don't know the name, but I think she has like a podcast or something too. And like you told her that she was gonna come up on some money, and then she starts shouting you out, and I just loved it.
She blew up my business, honestly. That's Wizzy from Horrible Decisions, her and Amanda. Uh, she blew up she blew up my business. Like, after she shouted me out, I had, like, 100 readings in 1 month. Like, she blew up my books. And I tell her even to this day, I'm like, that shout out literally put my business on the map. Like, people were, like, buying my stuff. Like, her after she shouted me out, like, I was busy. I was definitely busy. I had to get my sister to come out
Listen.
down to Georgia to help me pack orders. I was busy. Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, we ain't there yet with this podcast, but maybe by the time this airs, maybe I'll get the other people that don't know you, that don't follow her to follow you. But we ain't
Yeah.
there yet. But we gonna manifest this.
Yeah. Yeah,
But that's what's up though.
absolutely.
Like I love that. And like I said, I've been seeing more and more people. And at first, y'all, I ain't gonna this might be petty of me. Okay. We're gonna get into our first segment of petty pet peeves. And I know this was very petty of me. I'm not even gonna ask y'all, was I right or was I petty? Because I know it was petty. And I'm not the only one, all right. I was not telling y'all who my reader was because y'all was not about to take my bookings and my slot. And I just needed my privacy because y'all be nosy. And I was not telling y'all who she was.
A lot of people do that. A lot of my clients do that. They purposely do not share me. When I mean share me, meaning that they don't reference me to anybody else. They're like, no, I'm not gonna refer anybody to you. You're strictly my reader, and I don't want like you're my little secret. Like I don't want nobody to know that I come to you, or if I tell people to go to you, you're gonna be too booked and busy. I'm not gonna be a priority anymore to you. They literally purposely do not reference me to anybody else.
Today is me. I was that person, okay? And I was just like, "All right." Like, I wanted to see her be great
Yes.
and grow, but I was just like, "Man." Then I start doing because she does, like, the readings on live on social media, and I was like, "Okay, my name today is gonna be Teresa." Like, don't say my name because they in here and they nosy, and I need to know if this man is the man or not.
Right.
I need to know if this girl is the one that's hating on me, but don't say my name because I shared you or whatever. But that was very petty of me. And I don't care. I didn't care. You're doing amazing. You're doing great. You didn't slow up nothing. You still get your blessings. And I still got my privacy in the appointment that I wanted. But I realized after we created the group chat that a lot of us was doing that. And I was like, oh damn. All right. I'm gonna share you.
Yeah,
I'll tell people.
a lot of y'all that do that. Yeah.
We was petty, but it's
I mean,
okay. It's okay
it's
now.
like a
We're sharing.
it's like a double-edged sword for me because it's just like, yes, I love that because that means that you guys, like, support me, like, you guys are part of my
Mhm.
tribe, you guys are, like, down for me, you guys have been for me, like, with me from day one, but part of me is just like, "Dang, y'all not gonna give me no more clients." Like, what's going on?
Listen, we be looking at y'all when
I'm
y'all
not gonna
come in.
reference.
The OG
Yeah.
squad be looking at y'all like,
Oh
I
my
guess,
goodness.
like she got new friends. Like, what
I
you mean it's a
can't.
line? I gotta wait.
I can't with
And that's why they be
y'all.
coming in there like a wrecking ball. Okay, they just like, what's the price here? Do
Yes.
me so I get out of
Yes.
here because I don't want to be around these people.
Yes. Absolutely.
Sin, you were a gem, okay? We don't want to share you. We're very you be on point. Okay, like I said, you are our therapist. Like you are our spiritual therapist. Like we don't want to share a therapist. Now we gotta wait for bookings and readings. Like what? We didn't want to, but we're sharing you now. Okay. We're respectful. We expect we respect the grinds and everything like that. But some of them
Uh-huh.
be getting on our nerves. So while
I
we on
know.
this topic, okay, let's go ahead into the first segment, which is called Petty Pet Peeves. Now, in your profession, you have to deal with a lot of people. People you know,
Mhm.
you don't know, and then you deal with people at their most vulnerable state. So, do you have any like work pet peeves with this profession?
I do. One of my biggest pet peeves, like being a tarot reader, is that people think that um they're entitled to my energy. And a lot of people
Mm.
have crossed boundaries. Um, People have like, especially like when I give clients, which I don't do anymore. I used to give a couple of my clients my personal phone number, and I like to this day I changed my number. Nobody has my number now, but they used to like call me in the middle of the night, like text me in the middle of the night,
Oh no.
DM me constantly. It's been a long time coming with the boundaries. But yeah, now they're like in place. So
Hmm.
I don't let anybody cross it because it was bad in the beginning. I learned my lesson. I had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. Especially I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. But I feel like now I have it down pat now.
Yeah. And when you're doing
Yeah.
this, like I just be wanting to help people. So you do try to make yourself available. But then people, like you said, they cross these
Always.
boundaries and they're just like, and for whatever reason, society has people thinking that they can be rude and disrespectful as long as they throw some money at you. Like you can take this money back. So they be like, I paid. I don't give a
Yes.
damn.
And I've refunded a lot of people back. It's not even with readings, like even people with my products, like they will be so rude to me, and I'm just like, you don't have to ever worry about it. I send their money back. I've had people like rush me to ship out their orders, and it only been like a day and a half, and I'm like, don't worry about it, and I just refund them the money because I don't need to be dealing with that energy, and secondly, like I, I don't need that vibe whatsoever. So I will gladly give you your money back. I don't want to take money from someone who has energy like that. I'm good.
Right. And then it's just hard to be an entrepreneur and to be, first of all, y'all, for all the entrepreneurs out there, y'all know, but for the people who aren't, there ain't no clock in and clock out. The moment you clock in and say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna start this. That's it. You might get a break here and there, but there's no
Yes.
breaks. There's no clocking out, and you have to do that. And then we lose a lot on the back end. And I remember you saying this, and I had it happen too. But just with like shipping orders out, how many times, this is my pet peeve as an entrepreneur, when people put the wrong address or they don't put their apartment number. and it
Ugh,
gets sent back and they're like, well, ship it again. Baby, I have to pay for this again. You gonna
that
pay?
is
No.
that is such a pet peeve. And then they emailing me all
Right.
angry with their thumbs. Oh, I did send it to you. I'm like, you did not send it to me, because if you sent it to me, it would have been at your home. That is like one of my biggest pet peeves too, is just like they always forget their apartment numbers or the suite number. It's just like, now that I have to wait for your package to come back. Then I gotta reship it. It's gonna take time, sis. At this point, you just take it as a loss. Just take it as a loss at this point. And you can't get mad at me because of that. That's your doing. How you don't know
Like,
where
you the one
you
that
live?
typed in your address. Like,
How you
you
not know
typed
where
it
you
wrong.
live?
Like, I had somebody and I like sent it to them. I was like, this is the address. It's shipped a long time ago. And I was like, this is the address. Is this the right address? They're like, no, I'm in apartment like 2A. Well, baby, you put 3A on here. And it's like, well, that's not my address. Well, it was shipped. It said left in mailbox. So go knock on their
Right.
door and get your stuff. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know them. Me either, girl.
That's
How
not
am
my
I supposed
like,
to like
you gotta understand, like, once the package leaves my home or my office, it's not my responsibility anymore. That is USPS or GPS or whatever shipping uh company you go with. That's now their responsibility. That is not my responsibility at that point. I followed all of the instructions that were given to me, and now I've handed it over to the company that is responsible to ship it to you. So if you put the wrong, or you forgot to put the address on your label, or when you decided to purchase, that's not my fault. That's not my
listen,
fault.
I don't know where you live.
I'm
Like,
gonna accommodate it. I'm gonna make sure you get your package, but at the same time, you have to understand. Like, that recently just happened. Like, I literally shipped out a honey jar to somebody, and she forgot to put the apartment number she's in. Now it's being shipped back to me. I have to wait for it to receive it, so that I can be able to ship it back out to her, because, like, I'm not gonna redo a honey jar all over again. That's so much
right.
energy to do that. So now I gotta wait for the honey jar to come back, and then I gotta reship it. And I gotta pay for that. I gotta pay for shipping twice. Twice. You know what I mean?
That's the part, like, it's like, okay, if it happens once or twice, like, hey, this is that or something, but like, I need y'all to understand that if you type in your address, we just print off it creates a shipping label automatically. I'm not going to the post office and writing down what you no, it's
Yeah.
printing what you put. So if
Yes.
I have to pay for that, and sometimes the post office is like, well, like sometimes they'll be like, okay, just fix it and you will get the money. But a lot of times you don't get the money back. I have
You
to
don't
reship
get
this
the
and I got to
money back.
pay again. And then they
No.
be mad, like, well, can you just refund me because it's late now? No.
Sometimes you like, sometimes when, like, you try to, because sometimes when they make their purchase, we don't alter your addresses. We just click a button for the shipping label to be created. Sometimes, depending on the platform that you're using, because I use ShipStation, it'll say insufficient address. So it won't,
Right.
it'll refuse me to print it out until I fix either the apartment number or the suite number. But at that point, I don't have the apartment number or the suite number, so that I have to email the client or the customer, ask for it, then input the suite number or the apartment number, and then proceed to print out the label. Sometimes
Right.
ShipStation doesn't pick up on that little detail. Sometimes it'll just, if you forgot the apartment number or the suite number, it'll still accept it, and you'll be able to still move forward to ship the product out. But
Mhm.
you don't understand, like, it's a science to this. It's a science to this,
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
like,
Yeah.
and if you are not, here's the thing though, if I want you to get your products because word of mouth is the best review, like the best way for
Yeah.
me to market, right? But
Yes.
if you're going to be rude about it, I have to politely let you know, or poetically petty, let you know, hey, that was your mistake, but I'ma correct it though. But also, watch your tone. Be respectful. This was your mess up that I have to fix. But like you said, now I have to wait for it to come back to me. Once
Yes.
it comes back, I have to redo it. And then the post office, they be just throwing stuff around. So if
Yeah.
your envelope is all ugly, I'm going to put it in a new envelope because now it's all ugly and dirty. And I'm not about to send that back out to get more dirty. So I'll put it in a new envelope, get a different shipping label, and send it back to you. But then y'all be like, I needed this for vacation and it came late. I just want a refund. First of all, if y'all don't know, I have a skincare business. It's skincare. I'm not
Yeah.
You not sending that back. I don't know what you did to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
no. And they be so rude about it. Like, well, I don't, you typed your address wrong. I just need you to understand that. That's all I want you to understand is you
Yes.
typed it wrong. So being an entrepreneur, baby, whew,
It's not for the weak. It definitely isn't for
it's
the
not.
weak. It's not. I tell people
It's
all the
not.
time, people want to start businesses, they come to me and they ask me for advice. I'm just like, it's not for the weak. Like you have to be able to, or you're gonna have to want to be able to have long hours. It's not just 9 to 5. You have a longer shift than 9 to 5. Like
Man.
it's more time.
Listen, and then
Yes.
this is the thing too, like for y'all who don't know, so she does have her own business. You can shop in her storefront and all that. But then she also does readings privately. You can book your readings. And then, okay,
Mhm.
if she's not doing that, she's on live, all right? And I'm in there moderating. And then she has to deal with that nonsense. And then
Yeah.
she gets to her readings and everything like that. And then she gets on live, and this is where she's kind of like marketing and just letting other people know, hey, I'm here and I have this and everything like that. So she'll do like, technically, she'll do like free readings and everything. But you guys have to know, and this might not be her pet peeve, but it's mine.
I know what it is.
when y'all be when y'all be in these lives, okay, and y'all be waiting for your free reading, you can't be rude and broke. I'm sorry. You can't do both. Some people get away from being rude because they got a little money. All right. It's
Mhm.
worth the rudeness. I'm going to deal with this a little bit, but don't come in there loud, wrong, rude, and broke. That drives me insane. Okay. And it's like you have to be patient. And then Sin just be, she be going through these readings so quick. She like, what you want to know? And she'll go through and I'll pin the comments and everything like that. But some of y'all be just like every week. Oh my God. Every week, and she be so nice and everything, but sometimes you gotta be a little petty. So I'm gonna ask you this next question. Do you feel that in this field that you have to be a little petty or that you have to be petty specifically with social media? Or do you feel like you get um a better response when you're more positive?
Um, you know what? I haven't started being petty until recently. Usually I'm really nice with everyone. Like I'm just a nice person. I'm just a friendly person. Like I'm nice to everybody. I feel like that's why everybody's kind of like they gravitate to my lives because I'm just nice
Mhm.
and I'm just very informative and like I really like I come from a place of like wanting to help. That's always my end goal. My end goal is to help you, whether that's emotionally, whether that's spiritually, but I'm always like trying to help. I've only become petty recently, but and that's only because I feel like it's more so the younger people coming into my lives,
Yeah.
not so much the older or our generation or an older crowd. It's more the young ones that are coming in, either coming to troll or coming to start issues or to stir things up. Yes, just recently, I feel like in my TikTok era, I've been very, very petty. I always use my slogan. Y'all always laugh at me every time I say in the chat, but
Come
I
on with it.
always tell y'all, in the words of Kourtney Kardashian, people are dying, Kim. And the reason why I say that is because there's a barometer as to what's important and what's not important. You asking me whether or not you should start a YouTube channel, that's like below that's in hell. That's so irrelevant. That's so shallow. It's so surface. It's so self-serving. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, and I understand that you want to know if you want to start a YouTube channel, but sweetie, you don't need me to tell you to start a YouTube channel. Like, you can start a YouTube channel tomorrow if you want it.
Right.
Okay, that's not important. My goal really is to help those who are trying to kind of really evolve spiritually, emotionally. Like those are the deep. I want to emphasize that I really want to work with people who are really wanting to go deeper into their healing and not trying to make it so surface based. Because asking me if you should start a YouTube channel, asking me if your man is cheating, asking me like I understand we all want to
Asking
know.
her if you pregnant. Go take a
Asking me
test.
if you're pregnant, I'm just like, you can there's a Walgreens and CVS on every corner. There
Right
is
across the street from
right.
each other.
You know what I mean? Like, you can find out if you're pregnant. you don't need me to tell you that you're pregnant. You can go and get a test to tell you that you're
Right.
pregnant. But I just feel like
Every week is like 3 people in there. Am I pregnant? I'm like, are y'all just trying to test to see, be like, oh, she's a fake,
I
she's a like,
know. It's just like it's a lot to deal with at times. And I get really frustrated a lot sometimes, but I just take it at a grain of salt because it's just like, I have to consider the generation. I have to consider the social climate that we're in right now. I have to, take into consideration the temperature of the world right now. People are consumers, people are capitalists. People are just wanting to whatever the next big thing is. People are wanting to buy, and wanting to know information now, now, now. We live in a very microwavable world. So I just feel like I understand why I get those people that come in.
but it's so this is like a pet peeve for me just being in your life. It's so y'all don't understand how draining it is already to
Oh,
just do readings without the trolling, without the nonsense,
yes.
without the rudeness. And then it's even more draining when every week you get on here, it's the same people, okay, asking the same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
I thought your saying was going to be the Lulu is not the Salulu, okay? Because this is
I do
something we
say
say
that a lot. I
frequently.
do say Delulu is not the Sululu. I say that a lot in my life. Because I always say this as like we have to live in reality, right? We have to live in reality. We need to have conversations that are based in reality. And I just feel like sometimes people could come in the chat and they're not in the right frame of mind, especially with the questions that they're asking, and they're rude to me and then they sort of just automatically give them a free reading. And it's just like I feel like I should be so much, especially on TikTok, I should be so much further along, and like I should be a little bit more far along as a reader, and like and being able to
Mm.
help people on that platform. But I just feel like it's been kind of slow on TikTok, and that's fine. I'll get there. I'm not worried about it. But I just feel
We
like
have a good time.
yeah, we do have a good time.
We
We
do.
do cut up. I love my tribe over on TikTok. I love my subscribers. Like I have a lot of subscribers. I didn't think I would have so many subscribers. I'm a thank you for that, because you did show me the ropes on TikTok, because I was completely lost how to work TikTok, and I was just like, Juicy, please help me. What the heck am I doing on this platform? It looks so like, even like the coins look like gambling. It was just like a lot. Okay, I was just like, this looks so ghetto. Like, please help me.
It
How do I go
is.
about
I be
this?
telling people all the time, like Instagram is Target and TikTok is Walmart because it's real ghetto over
Yes,
there.
it absolutely is.
It
But
low key
I
might be Waffle House. Like,
yeah, it definitely is. I've gotten the hang of it. Um, but I just feel like I should be so much like further along. And I feel like that comes with time and it comes with more experience. I just feel like I should be just way more further along. Like I just feel like TikTok is not even my strongest platform at this point. I have other platforms that are a lot more
yeah.
stronger.
And like the thing with TikTok is you'll have the numbers as far as like the people and like
Mhm.
all that, but it's really if you're a quality over quantity type of person, then TikTok ain't the platform for you. And it's
Right.
like I stay on TikTok though because even though you're gonna have like 300 people in there and only maybe 10 of them are purchasing something, those 10 people are going to be loyal. Like I've met some amazing people on TikTok, some dope ass people, but it was a whole lot of trolls that I had to get through to meet
Yes.
these people, or you know what I mean? You just got to learn how to deal with it. So as far as TikTok goes, I'm like, Sin, you have to get over here because, like I said, the quantity is here. And you are going to find some gems in there that's going to support you, that's going to be down with you and ride with you till the wheels fall off. Now you got to deal with the nonsense, but I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I could deal with the trolls all day. You already know. I'm always like, I'm gonna be the biggest troll in alive. Okay, so I'm like, I'm gonna moderate. I'm gonna tell you this. And then she was over there. She was just being so nice, and she's like, okay, a hand heart. I'm like, babe, the girl, that's 50 Cent. We are not doing no 50 Cent readings. Like, no,
Well, I
ma'am. And then
didn't
people be
know.
like,
I did not know what the heck I was doing. And then so
I know.
you wrote me on TikTok. I was just like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me. Please
And I
don't.
was like, I got you because I'm like, you're on there for hours. And that's what I
Yeah,
need y'all to know. For the people that see this, understand that Cyn gets on live and do readings for y'all. And a lot of times it's for free or like a little donation, nothing too crazy, but she's doing this for y'all and also because she actually enjoys what she does, right? But
I
she
do.
gets
I
on here
do.
for 2 hours at a time. And I'm like, do y'all, and y'all be sitting there like, well, I sent the money gun. That's $2.50. And I'm not saying that it's not worth it, right? But do y'all
Right.
understand how much money she's leaving to be here with y'all? Do you know how much money she can make in 2 hours if she just
Yeah.
does what she do outside of TikTok or in her shop or doing readings or something like that? I'm like, she is leaving so much money to be here with y'all. For one, respect that. For two, stop arguing with her because you didn't get the answer you want. And for three, when she be like, be nice to be mean, baby, because I promise you, you ain't gonna know if that man cheating on you or not. Not today,
I
not in
always
this
tell
life.
people I always tell people be nice to Juicy, like be nice to my moderators because they be going in on my moderators too. And I'm like, I'm not gonna let you go in on my moderator. Like they're here to help me. Because I've had a few incidents where they'll tussle with my moderator. And I'm just like, you're not gonna talk to my moderator like that. Like they're here to make sure to facilitate or to help the chat to make sure that we stay in order. Like you're not gonna talk to them crazy.
Listen, and they be coming every time they come in there with the same question. I'm just like, girl,
Mhm.
sir,
Yeah.
no, the answer is no. I'm about to pull a card for you in a minute. No. Like the answer, no.
Yeah.
But I do love the ones that come in there and they be with their bullshit. And when we call them out on the bullshit, they just laugh like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Free
Yeah.
Antonio. Free Antonio. I do love them because, like I said,
Marcello. Oh my goodness. It's the same girls. I know their man's names by heart. I should not know your man's name because you come in the chat all the time asking about him. That's how you
man.
know that there's something wrong. There's
Listen,
something
and we be having a
wrong.
good time though when they can. When they can,
Yes.
because there was a couple that we were like making jokes with, and they was ready to square up. Okay, they was really mad going in, and I'm like,
Yes.
blocked. Get on up out of here. Go on, get out of here. You what we not about to do is that.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
all
there's the
fun and
ones that will laugh and
games.
all that. And then there sometimes and I know a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't want my reading public or anything like that because they're embarrassed. But I love the tribe there because if it's someone that's going through something and you can really see that they're hurt, we pulling up, sis. Where you at?
Yeah.
You F them and we'll support y'all. Like it's really like a thing like that. But
Yeah.
you can't come in crazy. All right. You gotta come in nice and be quiet and be like, hey guys, all that. And we gonna make sure you have a good time. And we gonna have your back with whatever. We gonna be here for your healing. Just like the one person that kept coming in there. Am I gonna pass my nursing exam?
Yeah.
No, because you always in here. Get out.
Yes. I told her, I was like, I'm gonna cut you off. Like, I'm gonna block you. Like, you're not gonna be able to come to my lives. And she's like, no, I'm gonna go and study. And she ended up passing her exams. You
I
know what I
know.
mean? And that's what I love about like being on TikTok live with my tribe. Like, we crack up. Like, we definitely crack up. We definitely laugh. We definitely like clown on each other. But at the end of the day, is out of love. Like, we all love each other because when one person comes in the chat and they're going through it with whoever they're going through, we're ready to like, okay, we about to pull up on them. Like we ride
Listen,
at dawn. Okay.
I, when we
We're
ride at
always
dawn,
like very tight. Yes, we're very tight in the chat, which I
listen.
love.
eh,
Yeah.
And don't let them be talking about they secret boo, they secret lover, and they're like, well, he's a celebrity. Oh, we all tuned in. We
Mhm.
like, sis, who? Tell me how you pulled the
Right.
man. Let me what?
To this day, I still don't know who that guy was, but I'm gonna find out. I'll find out.
Listen, when the one person we like,
I'll find out.
like, girl, you don't need that man. We like, forget him, girl. You're beautiful. You
Yes.
don't need that man. And she was like, I know, but like, he's so well off and he got an elevator in his house. I said, wait a minute now. You ain't say that.
Elevator. Yes,
I
girl.
want an elevator now. I'm like, sin.
I was just like, "Ooh, she's bougie. Her man got an elevator in his house." I'm like, "Who are you dating?" And she's
Like,
like, "Oh, it's a celebrity." I'm like, "A celebrity? Well, good for you, sis."
sis,
I'm like, "Well,
sis,
good for
if
you,
you
sis."
see this, come and tell me. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, y'all, I've been getting readings from Sin. I'm doing it, okay? I'm going to say it. I've been getting readings from
Oh
Sin for a
my
little
god,
while now, okay? And I've been looking for
no.
my man and my husband and trying to figure out where he at. And my readings be so ghetto that my readings be ghetto. I'd be like, here we go. And she'd be like,
They're
Juicy.
not.
In the beginning, she was so sweet, like, "Oh, Juicy, this is not it's gonna happen. Not right now, but it's gonna happen. Your man, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna come in, he's gonna love you, blah, blah, but he's not in your city. You gotta go out." By the 5th, 7th time that I asked where my man was, she was like, Nah, I done told you. I ain't pulling no cards." Sin, stop pulling cards for me, y'all. She was like, I got petty
Yes.
sin, okay? It went from the poetic sin that was so nice and sweet and painting this beautiful picture of my man to petty sin. "I'm not pulling no cards for you, Juicy. I told your ass you need to get out here
That's so
and travel. He not
true.
there, and you need to get out there. He not in a grocery store either. Get your ass on a plane." But y'all, she won't tell me what airline my husband is on. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. So if you see me in the airport and I'm just like sashaying, okay, with nowhere to go, it's because my man is somewhere. Okay,
But
but
you
she
know what? I also had a reading with someone, and I told her that her man was not going to be in the city or state that she's in. And she literally went out of town and she met him. So when I be
what
telling y'all,
airline? I
I'll be
need to
telling y'all,
know.
y'all men are not in y'all cities or states. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes
Was
when
my
you
man on
travel, you
Spirit?
meet
Is that
them.
why I ain't find him?
Not on Spirit. Definitely not on Spirit. Or Frontier, honey. Not definitely on not on there. But sometimes the person that's for you, man or woman, whatever your preference is not in your city or state. You have to travel. There's so many people on this planet. You're not confined to your city or state. You're not.
I know. Imma get out here, okay? Imma try a different airline, but they be pissing me off, Stan. These airlines be pissing me off. I gotta pay for
I
everything,
know.
the seat belt, the seat, okay? I gotta pay for the
Yes.
runway to get there. I gotta pay
Yes.
for them to check me in. I gotta pay for them to lift my bag. I'm sick of the airport, okay? I'm
I
sick of it,
know.
but Imma
I
go.
I know. I know. I know, but
Imma go.
I understand. I could look. Listen, I completely understand. That's why I always tell people like, "Oh, try online dating." Try. And I know online dating can be very scary. That's why use your precaution. Use precautions with it. But
Listen.
you have to live your life, like travel, do all these things because your man may not be in your city or state. They may be in another country, or they may be in another city or state. You know.
Imma book this flight. I don't know where I'm going. Imma book this flight. Imma pray about it. Imma hold my honey jar when I pray about it
Uh-huh.
and when I book it. Imma do all these
Yes.
things, and Imma come back and Imma let y'all know, okay, if I found my man. All right. Now she did say there was
Okay.
gonna be some love coming in, and she was like, "It's gonna be a few people, and make sure they not all it." And she was absolutely right. Y'all, I got this damn oil from her. First of all, be aware
Right.
of the oil. She got this love oil, y'all, and it's supposed to attract men. When I tell you, it was so many
Oh my
people. Wasn't the right man though, okay? That's the thing. It's not always gonna be the right man or quality man. It's just gonna be a whole lot of niggas, okay? It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
true. That's
never wearing
true.
this again. I ain't wearing this thing. What the hell you done put in this? Absolutely not, okay? She gave me this money oil and a spray, y'all, I got from her shop. Check it out, y'all. I know y'all be like trying to it's cool. You don't I'm not here to convince or convert nobody. I need y'all to understand that. Neither of us are here to convince or convert nobody, okay? Those that do, those who don't, don't. However, I'm gonna share my experiences with
Right.
you. That money oil smells amazing. I
Right.
put that on, and I put it on when
Thank
I'm
you.
starting to like I do. I wear so when I go live, especially if I'm gonna go live and do like on TikTok, I do battles or do like readings or anything like that, I always spray. First of all, I love the smell of the money spray because it reminds me of my grandfather. And in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was his cologne the whole time. This was his casino cologne. Girl, whole time it was the money spray. So, my grandpa passed. So it just reminds me of him. So I spray it a lot when I'm stressed out or whatever. And every time I spray it, some random money comes in. I ain't saying nothing. Okay, the random money might be $5, but it's still $5 that I didn't have. I'll get on live. I'll do that when I'm trying to think of a plan to market my businesses or something. I'll use that and I'll get on the computer, start to type, start to research, and then I'll start, you know what I'm saying? When I post that or use that marketing strategy or that discount code, obviously you're going to get orders when using a discount code for the most part, but I feel that I be getting more. Again, I spray it before I get on here, go live or something like that. and I'll post a video or I'm making content on TikTok and that'll be the one that goes viral. So I ain't saying that is gonna work for
Ooh.
everybody. I'm just saying that it worked for me. But be aware of that love
Ooh.
oil because it's gonna be everybody. Okay, it ain't gonna be the
You
ones
mean the
you want.
divine elixir?
It was a whole lot of Jameses, okay, coming here. I'm in a grocery store. This man is following me, talking about, "Oh, that's you." That's me, what, sir? That's you that smell like that. Get away from me. Like,
Oh my
he's sitting there with
God.
no buggy, no car, just holding bottles of liquor. Get away from me. I'm just, no, no.
No, not liquor.
Just bottles of
Wow.
liquor, and Sin is like, "Juicy." Again, I got petty Sin. She like, "I told your ass about this. Oh, I told you. I told you." But I appreciate it because, like I said, I get the nice Sin when she can tell. Like you have good discernment, and you can always tell like when, at least for me, you can always tell like when I need the soft Sin and when I need the Sin, the petty Sin. That's like, girl, no. So I'm gonna ask for other people because we've been rocking and rolling for a while. But how do you know
Right.
when your client needs petty versus poetic when you're giving them their readings and all that?
It depends because some clients are very hard-headed. And especially when you've come to me several times looking for a different answer. I always give a disclaimer before I do my readings. I always tell them, like, look, I'm going to tell you everything that I see, whether it's good or bad. Just be prepared to receive anything that I have to tell you. Sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's bad news, but sometimes I gotta go in on and be very blunt with certain clients because I can tell that it's not clicking. It definitely it isn't clicking. So I had to be very, very blunt. And for the most part, my clients be like, "Oh my God, like, no, don't hold back. Tell me everything. Like, I can take it. I can take it. Like, don't sugarcoat it." And I never sugarcoat my readings. Never. It's a disservice. It's an injustice if I sugarcoat it. I never sugarcoat my readings. Ever. Ever.
Do you feel that you get because you know they always say, what, I forgot to say, I'm about to mess it up, but they say you catch more, what is it, you catch more flies with honey and
Catch with honey.
yeah. So do you feel like do you have a better impact on people or they listen to you more when you're being nice or when you're like, hey, because let me tell y'all, she gonna get in y'all ass if she, and especially if she's sick of y'all, she gonna tell you what it is. Like you said, she'll sugarcoat, right? But she gonna tell you what it is. So do you feel like they listen to you more when you're nice or when you're like, hey, now I done told your ass?
They listen to me more when I'm blunt. Because I
Yeah,
feel like
right.
it shocks them. They're like, "Oh my God, like, she really just told me about myself." Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
And I
did,
do
and
it
I'll do it
again
again. I did. I did, and I'll do it again.
because you hard head and you don't listen.
Most definitely, most definitely, I'll do it again. Like, sometimes people need to be you need to be blunt. You need to be harsh. You need to tell people that they're wrong. You need to tell people that they're doing things, they're bullshit, and you have to. Sometimes you just have
Right.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, and they be trying it, and then the thing is, like, you also give a disclaimer in the lives, and you're like, "Hey, all right, I'm gonna tell you this," especially when they're asking something like personal, you can tell they're hurt. I'm gonna tell you this. Don't beat me up. Don't be mad at me, and don't do this.
Right.
And it's like they still be mad. But what
Right.
really pisses me off, and this is something that I just rock with it because I know that karma's real and it's gonna come back because you are outside of like, you know, your profession, just as a person, you're a good person with a kind heart. But I'm gonna tell you, this thing pissed me off when you told me this. For the people that come in there, all right, and I ain't even talk about the people that be like, I gifted her. Like, baby, you gave her a rose. She can't even cash that out. Hush. But the people who will cash
Shots fired.
the people that was cash apping you because you were like, you know, give a donation and they would do that to skip the line and then they disputed their cash apps after.
I've had not a it hasn't been a handful. It's been like maybe like 2 or 3 people. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm just like the audacity of you. The audacity
Like,
happened, yeah. It definitely happened. Maybe they didn't like my response. Maybe they didn't like my answer. Maybe it wasn't the answer that they wanted because sometimes people get a reading and they want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear. Like they want to be validated in their delulu. So yeah, I get that sometimes as well.
Yeah, that right there
Definitely.
was like, I was like, "Hey, oh, what's the name said? Let me at him." And she like, "No, don't worry, I got it. Don't worry about it. They'll never get another read.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's it. They can't."
it's
Y'all, she
like
better
I'm
than me.
not
I'm
sure.
trying.
You know what? Like I just don't try to make a big deal about it. Like I just because I always tell myself like it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna be blessed regardless. So I
Mm.
just don't make a big deal about it. I'm still gonna be blessed. I'm still gonna have abundance. I'm still gonna be like, have prosperity. Like that's not gonna stop my blessings. You know. Maybe they needed
You're
it. I don't
right.
know.
But they could have just
I
sat
don't
there and waited
know.
for the free reading like the rest of the people. That still pisses me off. Okay. And I'm just like, saying, do something.
That's
Like,
true.
do
That's
something. Now
true.
I do like Sin be petty, y'all. She being nice, but she be petty. When the people come in there and be trying to troll you and be like, "You're a witch" and all that, she be like, "And I'm about to put a spell on you." I'm like,
I've
"Bitch."
done that before. I've done that before. I've done that before. I've done that. Like I'm just and especially the people that I let it slide. I keep letting it slide, keep letting it slide, keep letting it slide. Like I said, I'm nice. So it's just like if you've done it several times, it's just okay, like for real now. Let's stop. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. Since we're talking about this, we're gonna slide right into the next segment, which is called Poetic Justice.
Right.
Has there ever been a time, okay, and when I say poetically petty, I mean like your petty is so creative that it don't come off as petty right away, or they don't even know that you did it still to this day. So has there ever
Right.
been a time when you were poetically petty, all right, and then justice was
Mhm.
served? Or if someone was petty to you and you did something and then later justice was served, and you was just like, poetic justice.
Yes. This happened a few years ago. I went to a Chinese restaurant and I loved the food. Like they had a really good sushi. And I loved it so much. My friend invited me. I went the next day and I was just like, oh my God, the food was so good. Let me go back the next day. I went back the next day by myself and I sat at a booth by myself. I ate my food. I didn't have cash to tip the waitress, but I told myself, you know, when I come back, I'm gonna tip in cash because you know it's better to always tip in cash. The next day, I asked my best friend if she wanted to come out to eat with me at the restaurant because I'm the type of person where if I love something, I can eat it like constantly, right? I can eat it like 3 or 4 more times. Like I can I'm like that's why I'm like really good with meal preps because I can kind of like eat the same thing over and over again. So I was like, "Do you want to come with me?" And she's like, "Sure." So we go to the restaurant, we're eating, we're about to leave. The lady points at me and says like, "You didn't tip yesterday." I said, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, you didn't tip yesterday. You're not a good tipper. Like you didn't tip at all. You didn't leave a tip at all. It's very rude that you didn't leave a tip." And I told her, I was completely shocked, first of all. And my best friend looked at me. She was just like, wow, like, this is so unprofessional. Like, what are you talking about? Mind you, I didn't know that she was the owner of the restaurant, some Asian lady. And she was like making a scene. And I was just like, okay, don't worry. And I ended up still tipping her. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tip her. I'm gonna be nice. Like, I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna feel some type of way. You trying to embarrass me in front of the whole restaurant. I'm not gonna
Right.
do any of that stuff. Girl, how about a year later, that restaurant burned down?
Oh, wait a minute. What did you do?
I didn't do nothing. A year later, burned to the ground.
Well,
The whole plaza caught on fire.
that's insane.
I'm not saying I
Well,
did it.
here's the
I'm
tip.
not saying I did
Get
it
better.
because I did not do it. But my ancestors don't play about me. It might
Come
not
on,
happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But my ancestors don't play
but it's
about
going.
me.
Look, I'm
Mhm.
trying to tell you. I keep telling y'all I'm one of God's favorites, okay? And y'all don't be wanting to listen
Period.
to me. Like, I
Yes.
be telling y'all too. I'm learning, okay? I'm still working on it, but I be telling y'all my peace is going to disturb your demons before your demons can
Right.
ever disturb my peace. God don't play
Yeah.
about me at
Yeah.
all. And then for
Indeed.
the people that think that because we're into tarot and things like that, and they're like, "Oh, you don't believe in God." That girl, that's a whole
Right.
nother episode. But who you think keep blessing me, honey? You think I got all of this and I'm this blessed because I don't believe in God? That's insane. Because the things that I'm getting aren't even things that are just like of the devil. Like I'm blessed, okay? And it's not always money and things like that, but I am so blessed. I'm blessed with my health, okay? I'm blessed with so many things. Who do you think this is coming from? Like, and never in my life have I ever told anyone put the Bible down and pick up the tarot cards. I never told anyone to drop your therapist and get a reader. I've never said these things. I have all of it. Like, you know what I mean? I have all of it. So it's just so crazy to me when people say that. I'm just like, baby, God don't even, God don't play about me. You don't think I believe in
Abs-
God? God don't play about me. Fuck around and
Absolutely.
find
And
out.
I always get what I want. Like, either, and I always tell myself, I use this all the time in my day-to-day life. I always say I'm gonna get it voluntarily or involuntarily. And I always get what I want. And I feel like it's like God is always giving me what I need. Not what I want, because I want is short term. But God always gives me what I need. I always get what I need at the end of the day.
Come
And
on.
now, like I said, I'm not saying I burned down that restaurant, but God said, I know you did not play with one of my one of my children. I know you did not do that. You know what I mean?
Listen, that was poetic justice for sure. Because, ma'am, you didn't have to do
Yes.
that,
I
ma'am.
was shocked because I really wanted to go back, but I didn't go back a year after because it was quite a while from my house, my old house. So I was like, one of these days, I was just like, oh, let me just go. I want to go. Like, hopefully that mean lady's not there, but I want to go because the food was good. Girl, I went there, burnt down, ashes. I went to ashes. I went to go visit Sticks and Ashes. I'm not laughing. Somebody lost a business. That's not funny, but I went to go visit Sticks and Ashes.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo. Well, y'all, as y'all can see, her ancestors don't play about her. So stop being rude, all right? Stop being rude, be respectful, and if you don't like it, just leave. Like,
Mhm.
just leave. It'd be that simple, but people just want to keep going. Stop poking the bear. Like, you don't know. And it's not even, you don't got to worry about me. You don't got to worry about her. You got to worry about the
Right.
people that protect her. All right?
Right. Absolutely.
Listen, look, I be trying to tell these people, and they don't be wanting to listen, and I'm just like, okay, okay. And then that karma come back around, and they want to blame me. I ain't do nothing. I'm just over here living. That's it. I ain't do nothing. Okay. I'm spiritually petty. Yes, I am. But my ancestors petty too. Like, apparently,
Right.
don't blame me. But nah, that definitely, I don't think I have any moments. I do have some moments, but we still got about 5 or 6 years before I can talk about those.
Ooh, that means it's bad. That means it's bad.
Nah, don't I think
Right.
nah. It's not that bad, y'all. It ain't like that. But
I don't know
these
about that.
people are still not me. I'm
I don't
good,
know
but
about
there's other
that.
people.
I don't
Don't
know
pull no
about that.
cards about don't pull no cards about that. But there's other people who are still in those positions that could possibly get in trouble. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do nothing I'll tell nobody else's business. So we'll see, we'll talk about those things another day. Um but there's always like little things, like little traffic things where people are like cutting me off or do something like that. I'm telling
Right.
y'all, don't
Right.
play about me. And they'll be doing these little things and I'm like, since you want to be rude, I be sitting there and I have to power of the tongue is real, y'all. I have to really be
Yes.
careful with the things I say because people do stuff and I'm like, I hope you get pulled over. You want to be all rude, all of this extra stuff. And then they'll be speeding past me or not letting me over and all that. And I'm like, oh, I hope you get pulled over. I hope somebody see this because you're being real reckless. And then they'll fly by. 5 minutes later, I'll go
Right.
and there's a cop that pulled them over. And I was like, see what your ass get? You see? And I have
Exactly.
those moments, or
Absolutely.
I will sit there and people will be doing stuff like it's a lot of times mine is like traffic stuff or dealing with somebody in a
Instagram.
parking lot. Like people sitting there. I still got that lady was sitting there in her parking spot and taking all day putting her groceries in her trunk as I'm waiting to turn in the parking thing and just being rude. And I was like, okay. And then somebody else moved and I just took that spot. This has happened to me so many times. I don't know if it's because of where I live at and what I look like, but they'll
Right.
be doing stuff like that and be rude. And then there was this one time, this was like 2 years ago or something like that. I had went and parked in a different spot. because they were just being taking their
Right.
time, not trying to pull out or anything like that. And then when they finally pulled out, which I didn't see because I'm in the store now, but I came out and the car was still there. They pulled out and they hit somebody. And I was like,
Right.
see, had you moved when I was waiting for you, not took all day, you probably wouldn't have hit that person or that person wouldn't have hit you when you was backing out. Like, that's what your ass get. And now you got to do all this extra stuff. But like, it just be little stuff like that. It wasn't no sticks and ashes. It was a couple broken tail lights. It wasn't sticks and ashes.
Right.
But there is like I'm serious. Like God don't play about me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have the same story. But I just feel like when you're a good person, all right, and you do things with good intentions, good things
Yes.
happen to you. And when people do bad things to you, that karma comes back around to them. So that's gonna bring me to my last segment of this episode. Now, I always like to finish with a positive note because I want people to leave. I want them to laugh and, have things that's relatable, but I always want people to leave with a positive note. So this segment is called Poetically Positive. And
Mhm.
what that is just like, has there ever been a petty moment that you've had, either you being petty or someone being petty to you, and you learned a positive lesson from it, or just something positive came from it, or if you just have some positive advice for people um, that you want to share? Have you ever had those moments, or just want to give some advice?
Um, I try not to be petty or be in the mess. Um, so I don't know if I have like a petty positive moment.
I got a lot of those.
You do? Really? Like
I
what?
do. Um, it was a positive for me. And
Okay.
they might not have all been positive for them, but it was a positive
Okay.
for me. Like, again, y'all, I'ma always get this disclaimer. The stories I tell on this podcast does not reflect my current employment. Okay. These are past employment moments. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I have not had, thankfully, I love my job where I'm at. I don't have to be petty or nothing like that. I don't really like to be petty, okay? But there's been times where I worked for someone and they kept like just nitpicking with me, just every little, you're doing this, you're doing that, you were a little bit late, you're too early, you didn't go to lunch, like little just petty bullshit, right? But
Right.
then I found out that this man was actually cheating on his wife. I didn't know he was married. And I just happened to be the person who was in charge of the newsletters and taking pictures at the company, like picnics and stuff. So I always made sure they were perfectly in focus in the background, canoodling with each other. And then, papers got served to the office. And when they had to deal, when this particular because then he started having her be rude to me. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything because they were over me. So, when they both are dealing with divorce and everything, they didn't have time to bother me. So I was smooth sailing at work and excelling in my work because I didn't have the nonsense no more. So, that
Yeah.
worked out for me.
No, that's never happened to me. No. Well, not to that
Leave me
extent.
alone.
Not to that extent. Oh my God. Well, damn.
Yeah. It was real peaceful after that. Not for them, but it was
I'm
peaceful for
sure it
me.
was.
It was great.
I'm sure it was.
It
I'm
was great.
sure
I
it
didn't even
was.
see them that much no more. It was nice.
Juicy.
I didn't do anything
I'm
because
amazed
even me
and
doing
I'm
that was like an extra task that wasn't in my job description. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I
right.
sure will. I sure will. And it's going to benefit me in the end.
I'm speechless. I'm
See, now
speechless.
she got me feeling like I'm such a horrible person, but they started saying, I don't be just petty for no reason, okay? All
I don't
right.
think you're
This
a
is
horrible
defense petty.
person. I
This is
don't think you're a horrible
self-defense.
person. Oh my goodness.
But
No,
yeah, and then like, I mean, I don't know if they learned a lesson from that. I don't know. Again, poetically petty. They don't even know that that was intentional to this day. And that was like
God.
7
Well, they
years
know
ago.
now. They
They don't
know
watch me.
now.
They blocked. So they ain't gonna see this.
They know now.
Well,
Oh my
y'all
God.
shouldn't be canoodling at like the work picnics and stuff like that. Y'all wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. I guess they just felt
We
like
were
we up
all out in the
here.
open like that. That's what it was.
And it's probably honestly in my mind, that's why. But it's probably other people at the job that they know who your spouse is. Like they probably said something too. You know what I mean? She might get her nails done with Shorty an accountant. You don't know. You know what I mean? But
Right.
all I know is after a few newsletters was published, I wasn't being bothered anymore.
Oh my God. I don't have a moment like that. Maybe I haven't lived enough.
Listen, it's okay. It's
Oh my
okay.
God.
I
Just
mean, you can leave them just like, on a positive note, because I know for me, I have to, now I'm nowhere near. I told her she's my spiritual. I always send people to her. I'm nowhere near where she is. I do this like as a fun thing or hobby. So I always go to her for advice or I send people to her. But a lot of people do come to me and they're interested in tarot, but they don't understand it or they're afraid or you know what I mean? They're just like, okay, what's going on? Or you get those people that's every week, and I'm like, you don't need no more readings, honey.
I agree.
Wait a
I
minute. So for the people that are getting into tarot or the people that are just like every week they want to, they're almost addicted to it. Like, what advice do you have for them?
I always say let your manifestations come into fruition before you get a reading. Like, for example, I've gotten readings for myself as well because I stopped doing readings for myself. I actually go to 2 readers I do trust, and well, actually 3 readers that I do trust. And I always wait for what they have told me is going to happen. Then I kind of proceed to kind of like either book another reading, or what I've done lately is I've completely stopped getting readings. I decided like maybe 2, 3 years ago that I was gonna just live in the moment and just kind of like trust myself and my intuition with making decisions. So I've just completely stopped doing that because it could get very addicting. And once you kind of know what's going to happen, you subconsciously stop living. Or you're subconsciously waiting for those things to come into fruition. It's like you're
Right.
always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I completely just stopped getting readings or stopped trying to kind of pry. And what also happens is if you continue to keep prying or you continue to keep trying to find out information, Spirit God will stop you from seeing anything or stop the reader from seeing things for you. For example, it's happened to me. I've tried to either give myself a reading or I've tried to kind of like dig in deeper and try to figure out or try to kind of like read more or to see more into the future. And what happens is that I see static on a TV screen. They won't let me see anymore. They won't provide me any more information. They literally stop me, literally stop me from seeing things. They'll give me like little clues here and there, but I've I've had like black moments where I just completely blacked out and I can't see any further. So if they feel like, enough is enough, you're abusing your power, you're abusing your gift, they'll stop it. They'll
Mhm.
stop it for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. It's happened to me a
And
lot.
y'all got to listen to y'all readers. If they say you don't need a reading or they
Yeah.
just like no, listen to them. They're not being lazy, okay? It's not the same as somebody that's a hairdresser and they're just like, "No, I don't feel like it." You know what I mean? I've been seeing the horror stories of y'all getting canceled, y'all appointments getting canceled while you outside in the parking lot waiting. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? It's literally them just like, "No." I've had people ask me and like, the car's just not coming out. I'm like, my arm hurt.
Yeah.
Like it's not me. It's just not happening. So y'all definitely listen to your reader. They're not being rude. They're not just like sick of you or anything like that. They're just giving you that's your reading. You don't need one. Like
And just be
that's
aware
it.
of the scams, and there's so many people that are scamming out here or people that are impersonating other people. If your reader keeps telling you to keep coming back and spending more money, that's not normal. That's
Look.
not normal. I've literally like, you know, refunded and like told people no. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I feel like it's imperative that you do that. And not because they're like they keep coming back to you. Sometimes they don't need one. Sometimes
Mhm.
they're not in a position to receive one.
Mhm.
So if reader is like constantly telling you come in, come in, come in, or your reader is just like, you know, telling you half truths because they know they're gonna come back to get more information. Um beware, because I've heard a lot of horror stories. I've had people
Listen,
who were readers before me, and then they're like, "I'm so happy," or "I'm so glad that I found you, and I don't have to go back to that reader because that reader was taking advantage of me. And I feel like
yeah.
with you, I'm safe, you know." So I've had a lot of horror stories. Like, it's been bad. I've had people like scam people out of thousands of dollars, and I'm just like, damn, I'm not even charging thousands of dollars. But you're willing to give this scammer that $1,000, but you're not trying to give me that. It's like, I'm just like, that's crazy.
You
Like,
crying over a galaxy?
girl, I've had someone say that they one reader charged them like $8,000 to remove some sort of like evil energy off of
Oh
them. And
my
I'm
gosh.
just like, I don't even charge $8,000, but you're willing to give this reader $8,000? I'm doing something wrong. Because they ain't no way you're giving this person $8,000. Where are you coming up with $8,000 to remove something out of your energy? Crazy work. Crazy work.
Listen, you
Crazy.
better pray about it, okay? Pray.
That's it's like people are like ripping other people off. So I always say be
They are.
careful with the scams, because the scams are
Yeah.
it's gotten worse over the years. Like, before it wasn't like this at all, but just because
Yeah.
the introduction of social media, TikTok, Instagram, you know, all of these platforms, now it's easier to prey on people, prey on weak people, or prey on people's
And your
weaknesses.
vulnerabilities. Yeah. That's why I'm around 20 when quarantine, when everybody was stuck in the house, that's when it started trending. Now,
Yeah.
2019 into 2020, that's when I really that's when I was coming to you, like, because I'm like, what is going on? And I really got into it a little more. Then it started trending. So I kind of end of 2020 and the 20 almost all of 2021, I just stopped because I was like, it's just so much going on and it's so many people. It's just crazy. Um, and then I like it just I couldn't sleep. It just kept coming back up. So then I kind of picked it back up and started doing it, and it was just like it's like therapy for me to do it. I
Yeah,
enjoy doing
same.
it, but there are so many scams out here, you guys, and we try to tell y'all, and y'all still don't listen because y'all want that like you said, we live in a microwave world that you want that fast thing, you want this here. And these people will go to your social media, look at what you're saying. Y'all post everything on your social media, everything you're going through. I can tell what you're going through
Yes.
by just looking at your last 7 posts, going into your story,
Yes.
seeing everything that you're sharing. On TikTok, if you don't got it private so where they can see what you're liking, I can see all that you're going through a heartbreak, a breakup, financial problems, all this. I'm gonna tell you that if I'm a scammer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm not gonna DM you because God ain't sent me to you. No, none of these people sent me to you. Buddha or whoever you pray to, okay? Stop falling for
Mhm.
that. No
And I
reader that actually tarot is ever going to DM you and ask you to pay them for a reading. That's insane.
Yes, and I've actually scammed a scammer before. So they were trying to impersonate me. They were contacting all of my clients, and I
Me?
made a fake page. I DM'd them. I was like, I want to get a reading. Like, let me get a reading. Told them to give me a reading. They gave me some bullshit reading, and I exposed them. I've scammed a scammer.
I remember that. I remember you said
And all on my social media, if y'all want to see that. I scammed them.
listen,
They
there's
were
so
they were
many.
shook. They were shook. I told myself, I'll curse you and your entire family. Keep playing with me.
I told
Because
y'all she be petty. I told y'all she gonna tell you real quick that she gonna curse you.
no,
I
because like
told-
they were taking advantage of my clients because my clients thought that they were talking to me. You know.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm trying to tell y'all that karma be real. Okay, so this is for the people that's out here scamming folks. That karma is real. All right, this little you might get that little quick money and that quick coin and everything like that instantly, but in the y'all what you say sticks and ashes. Okay, it's on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I went to go
Yo,
visit
so
Sticks and Ashes. I need sticks and dirt.
listen,
Telling you.
that's for them
Oh my
scammers and for
goodness.
the people that's getting these readings because Sin told you no and you're going to find somebody else and you get scammed, okay? Like she said, we coming to the end of this episode. So we gonna end with Delulu is not the Salulu, okay? Now you
Yes.
broke. And then it took your money and you still ain't getting the answers. He's still cheating. She's still cheating. You're not pregnant. All those good things there. So, no. But no, on a serious note, y'all, like, don't get scammed. All right. live in the moment. Like we are a lot of times and it happened to me. She's told me no a couple times, like no, you don't need no reading, because I got to a point where I was and I was very vulnerable. I was in a low space and I was almost addicted to readings. I'm just like, I need to know what's gonna happen next. I need to know, and it became a control thing. And I'm not really a control freak, but I became one because I'm like, I need to know. I need to know so I could set this up,
Same,
and I need to do that. And then nothing that was supposed to happen for me was happening. Nothing was happening.
same.
Like, because I'm just waiting. So everything was at a standstill. Everything was stuck, and I'm going to her like I'm stuck and stagnant. She like, cause your ass not listening. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
same,
She ain't have
same.
to pull no cards for that.
I was the same way in the past. Like, started getting readings, and every time a minor inconvenience would happen, I would get scared because I didn't know the direction of my life, and I would get a reading. So when people come to me with like their fears, or people come to me and they're like, "Oh, don't judge me," I'm like, I don't judge you because I've been there. I've
We've been
I've
there.
I've been in those third party relationships. I've been the one that was constantly hitting up my reader and crossing boundaries. I was that girl, you know. So
Exactly.
yeah, I was that girl. And I remember I hit one reader like 12 o'clock midnight, and she cussed me out. Like, don't call my, like, I was that girl. So when people
Right.
come to me, that's why I'm a little bit more empathetic, or I understand and I'm not mean to them, is because I was that girl. So I completely understand to feel unsure, you don't know what's gonna happen, or
Mhm.
you don't feel safe, or you know, you're having all this anxiety, you're having all of this stress. I was that girl.
I
I
was
was
that girl
her.
too, y'all.
Yeah,
I was that girl, okay?
I
I
was
was making fake pages to see what he was doing and what the girl he was with was doing. I was doing these to the point where I had to I was Delulu, okay? To the point where I had to tell my
I was
sister,
definitely checking
"Hey,
his page. But when you and I always
girl."
tell people, like, once you free the shackles that you pretended to have on yourself for like you eliminate those shackles that you have with somebody. I remember I was like Delulu, and I was like goo goo gaga over the wrong person. I swear to God, like I was like nothing, nobody could tell me wrong anything, nobody could tell me about this person. Like, this is my person. I was
This
like
is it.
so adamant, like, this is my person. But when you finally remove those shackles from that person, it's so liberating. And I always tell people, like, just because you're stuck in that particular situation, or you're stuck in this particular connection that you just can't seem to break free from, doesn't mean that you're going to be stuck there forever. Because
Right.
nobody could tell me in 2019, nobody could tell me nothing. That was my man. Nobody could tell me nothing. That was my man. Clearly, this is not my man now, because I'm engaged to a
Come on,
completely
Red.
different person.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
here's a moment for me. Here was a moment for me where it was really one of those like damn moments. So I had been getting readings from Sam for a little while, and it wasn't like full readings in the lives and stuff like that. I did get a couple full readings, but there was like two guys, but there was one guy that I was like, oh my gosh, right? And every time I'm like, forget him, and I move forward, I was getting circled back to him somehow, or he would pop back up somehow, or we're in the same room again somehow. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. This is my twin flame, because that. As soon as I say that, Sam was just like, oh God. You know what I'm saying? And then I was
I've
like,
been there.
she needs to know. I'm like, she needs to know more, because I'm just saying this guy, but she needs to know everything. She needs to know exactly who it is. And I told her exactly who it was. And she was like, now, she didn't violate HIPAA, but she said, Juicy, I'm going to tell you this. You are not the only person asking about this person. I said, what? All
You
right.
did. Yeah.
And she, like, when I sent it to her too, because I'm like, I need reactions. Okay. At this point, I'm addicted. I said, look at you live. Look at it now. I just sent it to you. And her face, and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, now do the
You were
reading.
like the
What call? And
third
she was just
girl that
like,
asked me about that. Yeah.
I was a third.
You were like the third girl that asked me about that same person. And I was just like, Juicy, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, you're not the only person.
Yeah. And then me, y'all, me being Delulu, thinking like, this is it. I'm manifesting. I've been praying. I've been doing all of these things that everybody done told me to do on Google and these other readers and everything to make this my man. Okay. And my
Mhm.
Delulu ass was about to be like, well, am I the favorite? Like, girl, what?
I'm
What?
telling you, I've been there. I've been there.
I've been
I've
that, and
been
that's
there.
why I tell people, and I'm not acting like a lot of times too, it's older women, and I feel like because I'm younger, they don't want to listen to me, and I'm just like, I get that I'm younger than you, but they always say
Mhm.
as somebody that's older because you assume someone who's older has more life experience. But I'm like, y'all don't understand how much shit I've been through in my 30 something years of life. I've been here. I've done this. I spent years in the space that you're just getting to. I'm trying to tell you. And then they think like, as someone's like, "Oh, that sounds very scripted. It sounds like you read that from a book." Like, what?
Uh-uh.
What?
Same.
Look, I had this moment, and it's like, well, they were having their come to Jesus moment, and I'm like, I've already done that. I've already been there. I talk to God
Mhm.
every day, but in my most vulnerable state, she's just like, "Oh, well, that's what God. You're mad because you thought you were the only one that God talks to. You thought that you were the only one getting this message. So when I'm saying it, and you feel that it's verbatim, like I read your diary, I don't know you, girl. You're bothered." Because you thought you were special and you were the only one getting this message. But I'm trying to tell you, I've been there. I have the messages. I received those messages. And that's why I'm peacefully where I'm at. And that's why you're so triggered right now by me. And you're attacking me because I'm telling you my life experiences and what the messages I got from God. But
Yeah.
go off. A
Yeah.
few years from now, hopefully just a couple years from now, you're going to look back at this and be like, damn, I didn't mean to attack that girl. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not bothered. I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna go have me a grand old time and enjoy my life. You still gonna be at home bothered. But I'm trying to tell you because I've been that girl. I've been the mean girl. I could do it well, but I don't like to be her. Like I've
Mhm.
been the miserable girl. I've been the trolling petty person and I had to stop being petty, y'all. And when I stopped, that's when all of these blessings that I literally have been praying for the last 10 years and working towards, so I thought, started just falling into my lap. I had
Yeah.
to let people that I loved go. There's a song by Samo, shout out to Samo, where he says, I have people who died on me who are still alive on the earth. Yeah, that shit hurt. And that hit me so insanely crazy. And it was like, I have people who lied on me, told me things they knew would hurt. Fuck them, I'm hurt. And I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is my life. And those that between the songs I was listening to, and Sin was telling me, like, you're gonna start seeing these signs. You've been seeing them, you're ignoring them. Stop ignoring the
Yeah.
signs. Y'all, from the music that I was listening to that's popping up on the radio, shuffle, the goddamn signs on the billboard, the Uber driver praying for me, like it was constant. I stopped looking at everything that he was doing or she was doing or this person was doing and started focusing on what I need in life and what I'm supposed to be doing for me. I started taking social media breaks. I started doing all these things and I stopped getting fucking readings and just start listening to the note. I still have a notebook from the first reading I ever got from Sin with the shit that she told me to do and not to do. And I still look at that and I'm like, okay. And when I stopped, everything was right fucking there. I've been focusing too much. And I said this before on the episode. God was like, stop focusing on a target or a blessing that's not yours and focus on your target. Focus on your goal. Stop focusing on everybody else's because you're not going to
Nope.
get anywhere. You're not hitting anything. You're not going to go and collect $200. Like, focus on what you need to do and what I told you to do and stop focusing on what they're doing. And stop praying for their blessings. That's not for you. That's theirs. That's why you mad and you bothered. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things, y'all. And I know a lot of people don't like to listen to people, but you have to listen to people that's been in that situation. They can give you firsthand advice. Don't be mad. Let all that other stuff go. Who cares who they related to? Who cares all that petty stuff? Like, I know this podcast is talk about poetically petty, but listen, sometimes you gotta let the petty go so that you can see clearly. I stopped being petty. Cause don't worry, I still got all my phones and the clips stay loaded. But I stopped being petty so I can focus. So I can focus. And when I was able to focus, I can see the message clearly. I knew what to do. I knew where to go. I didn't have to keep asking people or paying people to tell me what to do next. It was right there the whole time, but I was too busy looking at everything else. So just
Yeah, this is why I always advocate, or I never judge the girls that end up in the third party, or or they they can't seem to detach themselves from that man or that guy. I always empathize for them, because I was in that position. I was that girl at one point, and I know how hard it is, and I know how hard it is to remove or to break free from those attachments. So I never judge them, and this is why they always come to me, and I never judge them, because I know what it feels like. I know how it feels to be ripped apart from your twin flame. I know what it feels like to still have a connection with someone at a distance, but know that you can never be with them, or you can never, you know, have them in your life again, because they don't even bring any substance into your life, but you still love them. I listen. I was that girl. I definitely was that girl, and that's why I tell you, like, there's life after that, because I'm living proof of it. There's life after detachment. And that's why I always tell people that you need to learn, or need to master, the art of detachment. It's something that we don't learn as children. Something that we don't learn as young adults is mastering the art of detachment, because sometimes things are no good for me, but we still hold on to it. We claw at it, because it's what's comfortable to us. It's what's familiar to us. It's what gives us a nostalgic feeling in us. But sometimes we hold on, or we cling on to things for too long. Sometimes we hold on to things, or we cling on to things that are good for us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. So what's not being taught enough is mastering detachment.
Whew. Listen, that's another episode. That is
Yeah.
another episode,
Yeah.
okay? But let me tell you, she was that girl. Now she that fiance, okay? And she's still that girl, just not
I
that one she was
wasted
talking
all
about.
my years. I wasted a lot of years on the wrong people, or the wrong
Mm.
person, I should say. Wasted a lot of years. Yeah.
But
I
the
also
thing
don't
is
judge
not
these girls.
my thing is like it's not I know that we feel that way, and there's a lot of people, and I'm saying this because there's a lot of people that have come to me and they that's what they're saying, right? I just wasted so much time with them. And it's like to me, and I'm just speaking for me, like I'm not speaking for her, but it's not a waste if you've learned from it, okay? Because I can easily say that with some of my exes, like, oh, I wasted so much time for them. But my exes all taught me something. And I knew what I wanted, like the last couple, honestly. I knew what I wanted from a man and what I wanted in a relationship, and it sounds crazy, but I didn't know what I didn't want. You don't know what you don't want until you experience that shit. And I was like, okay, now I got to be even more specific with what I want or don't want and all these different things. So I, in the moment and when you're still hurt, I'm like, oh, I wasted so much time. But now that I'm in a better space and I'm peaceful and I've got that detachment, I'm like, it wasn't a waste because I learned from it. You know what I'm saying? I learned my lesson, and I was able to move forward from that. So I'm not mad at no exes. I'm not mad at no man. I ain't mad. There's nobody in this world that I could sit here and say I hate this person. I'm not.
Same.
There's people that I'm just like, you're not good for me. I wish you
Right.
the best, and I mean it, and
Yeah.
I can move
You
forward, but I'm just not. You can't be
I
in
don't
my
hold
space.
any space for you in my life. I don't hold any space for you.
Right.
Um, there's nothing that can come of this connection. You know what I mean? And there's just nobody that I hate. I don't hate anybody. I don't have no ill will to anybody, but I am a firm believer in my boundaries. I'm a firm believer of who I get to choose who I want in my environment. I'm a firm believer in that. So that's why I never judge the girls that go through those things, because again, I've gone through them. Sometimes you have to keep repeating the same lessons because you haven't learned your lesson. I tell people all the time, you come to earth to master social skills, emotional skills, spiritual skills. This is why we're here on earth. We're here to interact and have connections to help our soul grow. So I always tell people, life, earth is like school. if you don't master that lesson, you can't move on. You can't graduate. So if you keep finding yourself in the same predicament, you keep finding yourself in the same situation with that man or that ex or whoever it is, you keep
Come on.
finding your same position, you haven't learned your lesson. You can't graduate yet. Once you've learned that lesson, when you've seen it from a higher perspective, then you can be able to move on. Then you can be able to remove the shackles that are keeping you attached to that lesson.
Cyn, I'm telling you. I hope people that's in my mind right now see this episode, because sometimes when they hear it from me, they're just like, ugh, they're tired of hearing it from me. But when you hear it from someone else, I promise you, I've never heard her use that analogy before, but I use that all the time. And I'm telling them, I was like, listen, when you're in school this whole time, they're teaching you things. At the end of every semester or the year, what happens? I'm like, you get tested. Okay, you get
Yes.
tested. Why are you getting tested? To see if you are ready for the next grade or the next level,
Yeah.
to see if you can handle that. Because if you're failing here, you're not going to be able to handle this blessing here, up here, if you can't handle this here. So when these things happen, understand that it's happening for a reason, because it's supposed to happen. What did you learn? And if you fail, you're going to repeat that grade. So when you're sitting there like, I keep attracting the same type of person, it's because you're not learning your lesson. So you got to keep
Absolutely.
repeating it over and over. I'm so glad you said that. My God. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
I'm
encouraged because I've
mastering
been
my life
saying it.
now. The life that I'm currently in, the energy that I'm currently in, the position that I'm currently in as like being a fiance and like getting married, like still trying to master this life. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to master the energy that I'm currently in. Yes, I've graduated from removing myself from and detaching myself from something that wasn't good, no good for me. But like now I'm currently in a space of like, I'm still learning. Like I find myself still learning. My fiance is still like, helping me learn and to help and still helping me like helping me emotionally and mentally and spiritually and pointing things out that I thought I did not, you know, I thought I healed from and I did not heal
Right.
from. So I'm still in my life mastering. I'm still in my lessons still to this day. It's just a different
Yeah.
person or it's a different situation, but I'm still trying to master this lesson.
And every
You
time
know
you
what I
get
mean?
to a new level,
Yes.
you're in a different space now. You have
Yeah.
to learn it. That's life. We are always going to be tested. We are always going to be learning. This is life. This is what it is. Okay. Just be happy that you're at a different level of that. You can't
Yeah.
like a lot of people get so frustrated, like, oh my God, I just passed this test and now I'm being tested again. It's because you get excited.
You
I'm
haven't
getting
learned it.
blessed. Like,
Sometimes you
I'm
haven't learned
excited.
it. Sometimes
Exactly.
think you learned it, but you didn't learn it. And then
Yeah.
God is like throwing a wrench or putting a fork in the road for you and testing you to see if you've learned your lesson. If they're testing you, you're being spiritually tested to see if you really think you're that chick. If you really think that you're that real.
Right.
I'm not gonna trust, but you know what I mean. If you that real person, so that is the fork in the road. Like if you pass it, then yes, congratulations. But
Listen.
sometimes people don't master it. Some people don't learn their lesson. They think they've learned a lesson, but they really haven't, because it shouldn't take God putting a wrench in your plans for you to fall 10 steps
Let
back.
that divine intervention, that tower moment gonna
Yeah.
come in if you ain't listening, okay? God, I'm like, I keep telling you, and since you ain't listening now, I'm gonna do this. And then people get upset, like, oh gosh, woe is me. Like, you're taking so much away from me. I get excited. If you're taking all this away, you making room for something bigger. And I always get a bigger blessing. I get excited. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, I cry. But after I cry, I get excited and I keep moving. It's just like,
Right.
I know I'm going to a new level. It's just think of a tricycle and you have your training wheels on. You're gonna cry when they take the training wheels off, but it's because you're ready to ride without them. And without
Right.
the training wheels, you can go a little bit faster and you can go a little bit further. So stop thinking of everything as a loss and think
Right.
of it as, okay, we're making room for something bigger. We're making room for something better, because you think you know what you want, but God knows what you want. God knows what's
Mhm.
yours. God knows what you can handle. Trust God. Trust the process. Stop give some of y'all be this close to everything that you've been praying for, but you give up because it's not fast enough. You give up because it's not wrapped the way you thought it would be wrapped. It's not in the pretty paper you thought it would be, and instead it's in some newspaper wrapped up. And you give up, and then you're mad at the world. But it's just like you were being tested and you failed. And there's times where I get frustrated and I'm crying and I'm upset and I'm ready to be petty, and I have to stop myself because I'm like, wait, last time I was here, I got this blessing. Last time I was here, I get that every time. I promise you a blessing is right behind. And that's why I always say, and we about to wrap this up. That's why I always say with every breakdown, y'all, there is a breakthrough. Keep going. Figure it out. You ain't gonna figure it out right away. And it ain't always gonna be pretty. But with every breakdown, there is a breakthrough. So after you get done crying, wipe your face and get excited. Because I promise you, there is a blessing on the way. Now, Cyn, we could talk all day. You already know that. But I ain't going to hold you no longer, okay? We going to have to just bring her back, y'all. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all can find her on so many different platforms. Y'all can reach her in so many different ways. She has so much content out, you guys, especially on her IG. I definitely go in your highlights and be rereading these twin flame things and stuff because I be needing to know. So let the people know where they can find you, how they can book a reading, your shop, all that good information, so we can make sure that everyone is getting a piece of Just Cyn Roy, because I'm sharing now or whatever. But let them know where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on all of my social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at Just Cyn Roy. You can find me on YouTube under Just Cyn. I also have a lot of my spiritual journey on my YouTube channel. So if you want to know how I came about being Just Cyn Roy and how I came about doing my business and how I went about my twin flame experience and detachment and learning all of the spiritual things I've learned to this point, it's all on my YouTube channel, which is Just Cyn. I also have an online store as well, which is justcynroy.com. Also, if you want to book a reading with me, it's also on that platform as well. I also teach a tarot course. If you do want to get into tarot, you do want to learn how to do tarot, it's also on my website, justcynroy.com. Now, I do also have a event next month in February 8th in Miami, Florida. I am going to be having a Reiki healing circle, and we're also going to be doing sound bowls. It is a 1.5 hour session of healing and purging emotionally. Also, I'm going to be raffling a free reading, and you will be leaving with a $100 gift bag. Everything in there is about $100 from my shop. I'm going to be giving out a lot of things, free stuff at this event. So if you do want to purchase tickets to come to my event on February 8th, the link is also on my website under events. So yes, that's pretty much
I'm gonna
it.
be nice because let me tell y'all, when she be doing giveaways, I'm like, it's mine. I'm gonna manifest that. That's mine. I'm gonna use her stuff to
You
manifest this, but
do.
I'm gonna be
You
nice.
do. You do.
I got a few
You
things. I got a
do.
few things. But I'd be like, I'm gonna be nice. I ain't gonna take it from y'all this time because listen, she taught me how to manifest too, y'all. I've been mastering it. But y'all go ahead, check her out and make sure y'all go and subscribe to all her stuff, y'all. Come through, all right? She come through on a Monday night on TikTok. It's a good time, or on YouTube, okay? It is a good time. I'm in there. Be nice to me or don't. Don't matter. No, it's always a vibe though, for real, y'all. It's always a vibe. But this has been another episode, you guys, of the Poetically Petty podcast. I'm your host, That's So Juicy. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you are always notified when a new video drops. We are going to be dropping every Wednesday, you guys. So make sure you hit that bell, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah, poetically petty, that's so juicy. That's her. Yeah.